ESPN Saturday Primetime. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. And oh, are they excited about this one here in Tuscaloosa. The 12-3 tie, the 12-3 Volunteers vying for the top spot in the SEC. It is a sellout here inside Pullman Coliseum. It's a whiteout, and it's Mark Sears, the second leading scorer in the conference at better than 20 points per game. Who's number one? That guy. Dalton Knecht, 20.8 on the season, but over 25 points per game in SEC play. This one should be great. It is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. And this league is great. Tennessee and Alabama, both right up at the top at 12-3. South Carolina beat Florida earlier today. The Gamecocks are 12-4. Auburn and Kentucky 11-5. You get the picture. This one means a lot. Whoever wins it will be alone in front in the conference standings. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Tuscaloosa. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis. We're so excited for this game. Alabama, statistically, the best offense in the nation. Tennessee, statistically, top 5 in defense and pretty darn good in offense. What do you think?
When Alabama played at Tennessee earlier this year, the Volunteers beat them 91-71. And it was because they physically dominated the Crimson Tide. They beat them up physically. And that's going to be the challenge for Alabama in this game. Can they get out and run and stay away from the physicality and match the physicality of Tennessee? Alabama's offensive schemes are magnificent, but it's not going to matter if they're not going to be physical with this Tennessee team. So when Alabama grabs a rebound, Tennessee can't be physical with something they can't catch. Right. So Alabama's got to get up and down the floor quickly, and they're going to shoot a lot of threes. They got to make them.
With more on the big matchup tonight, here's Jess Sims.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Jay. So Dalton Knecht has quickly gone from unknown to unforgettable. But where did he come from, you might be asking? Well, he started off at a junior college before transferring over to Northern Colorado before finding his 5th-year home at Tennessee. Now, at Vol Nation, he wanted a couple things. He wanted to improve his defense. He wanted to learn under Coach Rick Barnes, who just so happened to coach his idol, Kevin Durant, over at Texas, and he wanted a chance at the NCAA tournament. Now, even with all of this, no one could have expected that this once 5'4" freshman in high school has turned into a 6'6" phenom here, leading scorer of the SEC this year.
As the kids say, Jay, he's a bucket. Dalton Knecht can beat you from 3. He can beat you from 2. Rick Barnes told his staff after last season, I like our defense. We got to find some scoring. We got to get better offensively. And they found this guy in the transfer portal, and he's going to be a first-team All-American.
Well, how comforting is it that when your offense may be struggling, you can give it to Dalton Knecht, and he can go get you a basket. That 39-point performance he had against Auburn was epic. He was unstoppable. He gets to the free throw line. You are going to have to run multiple defenders at him and make him guard to slow him down because he is in an unbelievable rhythm right now. You mentioned 25 points a game in Southeastern Conference play.
Mark Sears, as we mentioned, the second leading scorer in the league at just better than 20 points per game, and it is Alabama, the highest scoring team in the nation, 91.5 points per game on the season. We are ready for the tip of our Sonic blockbuster matchup. Pat Adams, KB Burnett Jr., Will Howard, the officials. And the first possession belongs to Tennessee. They pick it up in the front court. Zakai Ziegler at the point. Started the year slowly, coming off knee surgery, but Jay, he's playing really good basketball the last several weeks.
He's really the barometer for this Tennessee team. When he plays well, the balls are very difficult to beat.
Left the 3 short, and here comes Alabama. Aaron Estrada coming off a triple-double against Ole Miss during the week, and Zakai Ziegler just blocked the shot of Mark Sears. Santiago Vescovi misses the 3. The degree starting lineup for Tennessee. And Rick Barnes has used only 2 starting lineups all year. Jemai Meshack started at the beginning of the year until Ziegler was ready. So great consistency, continuity, experience for a guy who's won better than 800 games in Rick Barnes.
One of the truly great coaches we've had in this game. And Rick Barnes makes a great case for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. You don't have many coaches that win 800 games, and he just passed that mark.
Agreed. First-time nominee for that honor. Great ball movement by Alabama, but a missed 3 by Ryland Griffin. Sears knocks it down. Grant Nelson with the assist. And the cutting Dalton Knecht, the first bucket for the Vols.
Well, Dalton Knecht has really improved his cutting. He gets so much defensive attention that when he can cut from the weak side or in the slot, he can get easy opportunities and soften the defense.
Sears doesn't need much time or space, but he missed that one, and back comes Tennessee.
And we talk about how explosive Alabama is on the offensive end, but Tennessee likes to get up and down the floor as well, too. They do not pound the ball into the deck. They want to score.
Santiago Vescovi, 5th-year player in the program. So is number 30, Josiah Jordan-James. And into Jonas Aidoo, whose prayer is answered.
Jonas Aidoo has played great basketball in SEC play. Almost 14 points a game, over 8 rebounds, 3 of them offensive boards, and shoots 57%. That's 3rd in the league in SEC play.
3rd in field goal percentage and blocks as well. Ryland Griffin, a sophomore, turns it over.
Now, take a look at this play, Dan. A long shot means a long rebound. And if you can't grab it, you just knock it back out, and it knocks to Mark Sears, who's just having a great year. Dalton Knecht is the leading candidate for SEC Player of the Year. But I think Mark Sears makes a great case. I mean, he's shooting over 50% from the field, 44% from 3, and averaging just under 21 points per game. He's been magnificent all year, incredibly efficient.
Nate Oates, you saw his 5th season here with Alabama after 4 very good years at the University of Buffalo. The Tide have gone to the Sweet 16 twice. They're hoping for a deeper run this year. Vescovi finds James, who knocks down the corner 3.
Alabama went to double team Dalton Knecht. They call it hit. Instead of double, they call it the hit. But they're going to hit on him, and he passed out of it very well. But that shot fake of Vescovi is what made that shot.
Give and go, and the bucket for Estrada. Another assist for Nelson.
You're so concerned about the 3-point line when you guard Alabama. That opens up cutting lanes.
And an offensive foul. I think they got Jonas Aidoo for an illegal screen.
Now, when Dalton Knecht gets the ball, he's going to see a lot of different defensive looks. But here, when he catches it, all of a sudden Grant Nelson comes over for the double, trying for him to get rid of it. He finds Vescovi, but that shot fake and drive, that collapsed the defense, and then Josiah Jordan-James wide open on the other side of the floor. That's really effective in going after that double and attacking out of it.
Not surprisingly, at the Alabama shoot-around this morning, the vast majority of the discussion of the time was spent on defending Dalton Knecht. They want their defenders out beyond the 3-point line, make them put it on the deck and try a tough 2. Do not let him get going and get open 3s.
Well, one thing Alabama has to do, Dan, is take care of the ball. Alabama turned it over 22 times against Tennessee in Knoxville. And if they can cut that number down to 8 or 9, then the Crimson Tide are going to have a great chance to win. You have 22 turnovers. You are not beating Tennessee.
One sub in for Alabama as freshman Sam Walters, good outside shooter. He's on Vescovi. Aaron Estrada right now is on Dalton Knecht. Ziegler finds Aidoo, who misses with the left hand, and down with a rebound, Nelson.
A great job by Nelson. He's going to have to fight against Aidoo, who's having a terrific season.
Nelson, after 3 years at North Dakota State, having a really nice year here for Alabama. Tennessee in transition. Knecht with the slam.
What a steal by Santiago Vescovi. Just reached right behind Mark Sears, knocked it away. And you're not going to be able to guard a run out. That was a big time steal by Vescovi.
Estrada short on the three, and the easy rebound for James. Better than 47% of Alabama's field goal attempts are threes. They shoot it about as often as anybody in the country. It's obviously a very, very big part of the Nate Oates offensive scheme.
They want to get free throws, layups, plays at the rim, and open threes.
And they're going to get some free throws here.
Well, that's what Mark Sears does. He gets to the rim and gets fouled as much as any guard in the country. But this steal by Santiago Vescovi was next level. Mark Sears, he just reaches from behind, knocks it away, and then Tennessee is off to the races. And Dalton Knecht, he can shoot it from the perimeter, but he's athletic and can finish above the rim.
Exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Sonic Quarter Pound Double Cheeseburger. Just $1.99 for a limited time only at Sonic. Boy, it seems like there are multiple games a week in this league that are just compelling, fantastic. This is one of them, and it's brought out some star power. Nick Saban is here. Kalen DeBoer, the current coach, is here. The quarterback, Jalen DeMilrow, is here, and a buddy of yours, Justin Thomas, is here.
Two-time PGA champion. There are a lot of stars out. Reese Davis is here as well.
We saved the best for last. Not a hair out of place.
Must be nice. We don't have hair out of place either.
That's true. That's the only thing the three of us have in common.
It'll be great now that Nick Saban's a colleague. We'll probably see Nick in the cafeteria, ESPN cafeteria, getting a tuna sandwich with us.
So Mark Sears at the line. The foul, by the way, was on Jonas Aidoo, his second. So 4 minutes and 37 seconds into this game. Aidoo is on the bench. Tobe Awaka is into the game, and Awaka is a terrific player, but losing the services of Aidoo is potentially a problem for Tennessee. Awaka, a more physical guy, not the offensive force, but he can really get on the offensive glass. Or James misses that one badly, but Jemai Meshack runs it down.
Yeah, Mark Sears just didn't go after the ball. He thought he was going to easily take it the other way, and Jemai Meshack is one of the best defenders, not only in the league, but in the country.
Awaka draws the foul on Grant Nelson and will be heading to the free throw line.
And you wind up getting a foul, and Tennessee shooting a couple free throws just because Sears didn't go after the ball with two hands. Possession is the first thing, and then you go. He started to take off the other way really before he got the ball, just trying to reach out with his right hand and grab it. And because Meshack got it, that put the Alabama defense in a really bad spot.
Awaka, the 6'8", 250-pound sophomore from Hyde Park, New York. When he grabs the ball with two hands, you're not getting it away from him. And he's had some big games, 18-10 against Missouri, 12-6 against A&M, and 9-5 against Auburn. His last 3 games, he's a very productive player off the bench.
Yeah, his per-minute offensive rebounding is ridiculous, one of the best rates in the country.
Estrada, yes, the assist to Sears.
Boy, Sears so good coming off that little ball screen. Wow.
He can beat you so many different ways. If there's a way to score the basketball that he hasn't thought of, I haven't seen it, because he can hurt you in so many different ways.
He just climbed the chest of the defender and able to put it off the glass. And when you can counter with a drive and a hard finish like that, with that shooting ability, you're big time.
How about that dish from Davin Cosby Jr. to Nick Pringle? Cosby was fantastic in their win over Ole Miss during the week. Got some minutes late. Rylan Griffin was in foul trouble. He made 5 threes, and what a drive and dish that was.
Yeah, Davin Cosby Jr. was on the scout team, and then he scores those 15 points against Mississippi. He had 14 points in his prior 10 games combined.
Floater for Zakai Ziegler. 3-point lead, Tennessee.
And on that Cosby drive, you don't want to overhelp on that. Make him take the tough two.
Estrada was all alone at the free throw line, missed it, and we get a foul underneath going against Alabama.
Now watch this Cosby drive. When you come over and 2 guys leap up in the air, just make him finish that tough two. You know, you're asking your defense to rotate, and watch this tough finish by Dalton Knecht. Never took his eyes off the rim after taking a hit and completing the play.
The transfer from Northern Colorado has turned himself into the likely SEC Player of the Year, a likely first-team All-American, and a likely lottery pick. What a story he has been. Wow. Ziegler knocks down a three.
Well, you think he's back to 100% now? Coming off a 17.9 assist game against Auburn and leading the SEC in assists at just under 6 per game. Zakai Ziegler is such a good player.
Griffin guarded by Knecht. 10 to shoot. Sears dealing with the size of Meshack. Corner three way off for Cosby, and it belongs to the Vols.
Tough matchup to go against Jemai Meshack with his size and strength.
Josiah Jordan-James too strong. Pringle rips it down and is fouled.
And that's the kind of job that Nick Pringle needs to do on the glass for Alabama. He's a good offensive rebounder. He's athletic. He's strong. He can elevate. But he's got to do yeoman's work on the glass for Alabama to win this game. I don't really know what yeomen do, but I've always heard that you have to do yeoman's work.
Tennessee is ranked 4th in the nation. They are 22-6. Alabama is ranked 14th in the nation. Right now, Joey Brackett says Tennessee is a 2, Alabama is a 4. Again, they've got identical league records. There is a lot on the line and a lot to discuss in this one tonight.
I think Alabama starts to run action. They need to run action at Dalton Knecht and make him guard.
Griffin puts it on the deck, gets all the way inside, has it knocked away, and then a foul. As Cosby fouls Jordan Gainey.
But Rylan Griffin was able to go at Knecht, got right past him, but good help defense by Tennessee. And Alabama thought there was a foul there, but it looked like Tobe Awaka with his left hand got all ball.
Cosby will sit just his first.
Boy, it's amazing, Dan. You think about the top scorers in the Southeastern Conference. 4 of the top 5 scorers in the SEC were mid-major recruits out of high school and mid-major players, led by Dalton Knecht, going to junior college and then Northern Colorado before Tennessee. Good pass.
And another one. Meshack passed up the shot. Vescovi will take it and hit it. The 5th-year senior from Uruguay extends the lead for Tennessee.
When Jemai Meshack made that drive, you cannot help off Vescovi. That's just over-helping. Meshack's going for a tough 2. You don't want to open up an open 3.
And around and out in the 3 for Jaron Stevenson, and a foul underneath. I think they got Tobe Awaka, and that's going to be his 2nd. So a couple of Tennessee big guys already have 2 fouls. That's a concern. But the scoreboard and the shooting favors the Vols right now.
Boy, when Jemai Meshack catches this ball, you want to close out short to him. He's not going to shoot that, but you cannot help off Santiago Vescovi. He's going to knock that down. He was wide open. Good little brush screen by Dalton Knecht to free him up.
Dalton Knecht, one of the most prolific scorers in the nation this year. And you go back a few years, and I don't know that anybody could have seen this coming. Jess Sims talked about it as a high school freshman. He was a little itty-bitty guy. Then came the growth spurt, 6'3", as a senior in high school, 6'6" now. He's gotten a lot stronger as well. 2 years at a junior college, then 2 years at Northern Colorado, over 20 points per game. And basically the same, if not somewhat better numbers now, stepping up to the high major level with Tennessee. His favorite player, Kevin Durant, whose coach just happened to be Rick Barnes, back at the University of Texas 17 years ago. And Dalton Knecht said he wanted to play in the NCAA tournament. He wanted to get better as a player, and he wanted to have somebody who would coach him hard on the defensive side of the ball. And Rick Barnes said, here, I got you.
If he wanted hard coaching on defense, he found the right guy.
That's right. And that was Knecht thinking about his future and his possibilities of playing professionally. Nelson misses a three. Alabama just 2 for 9 from three-point range.
And they were 4 for 21 in that first game. They shouldn't have picked that off. That's going to be good.
Let's go to Jess.
Yeah, Dan, so I caught up with the director of sports performance over at Tennessee, Garrett Maidenweld, and he said it is tough keeping Connect out of the gym. So they limit him to just 6 days a week, but he's gained 15 pounds of muscle, and they've added 25.6% increase on explosive strength, which they measure by using technology called the Force Plate.
There's Garrett Maidenwald, who you can tell that he's into sports performance. I'm sure he's very good at it.
You always know who the strength coach is after you shake hands with the staff, and the strength coach leaves your hand throbbing like one of those cartoons.
Exactly right.
But Tennessee does as good a job as anyone. The bodies of the players change. They're incredibly strong.
Ooh, and did Grant? It's an Alabama foul. I think it's on Muhammad Diabate. The crowd is yelling because Grant Nelson wound up on the court, and it looked like J.P. Estrella may have had something to do with it, but it was a totally separate collision or altercation where the foul was called, and Nate Oates is livid. Vescovi off to Estrella, who is getting minutes early tonight because both Adu and Awaka each has 2 fouls already.
Good cut.
And Gainey fouled by Nelson, and that'll be number 2 on Grant Nelson. And Nate Oates is only getting angrier and angrier.
Boy, that was a great cut by Jordan Gainey to bail out Jahmai Mashack after he picked up his dribble. We'll take a look at that last sequence where the foul was called. And there's the push underneath. Yeah, they called the push underneath.
Tennessee, a very physical team, always. The players change, the physicality remains. It's not just, oh, hey, Dalton Connect can score a lot of points. They get a lot of older, strong guys who are both physically and mentally tough.
Yeah, and basically you have to condition your team that don't look over the officials. They're not calling it. So play through it.
And Connect to the bench for the first time tonight. Couple of free throws for Gainey, and it's an 11-point lead on the strength of a 10-0 Tennessee run.
And this happens from time to time with Alabama. They can get down double digits, but because they are so prolific in scoring, they can make up these deficits pretty quickly.
They were down 14 at Ole Miss on Wednesday night with 5 minutes left in the first half, and they won by 15. So a 29-point swing. Pringle the lay-in off the dish from Griffin.
You really have to stay in front of Alabama to keep them out of the lane, because that's what they want to do. They want to get it in the lane, and then they can spray it from there and really hurt you from 3.
Gainey, the offensive rebound, brings it back out.
And usually Aaron Estrada is an excellent guard rebounder, but Gainey just beat him to it.
Ziegler looking for Estrella. Now they reverse it. 5 to shoot. Gainey into the paint, fouled, and going to the free throw line.
Just got past Estrada. He reached in and grabbed his arm. And Jordan Gainey, who is the son of assistant coach Justin Gainey, was a great point guard at NC State. You can see the grab just from behind with the right hand on the right arm of Gainey. But Gainey was a star at South Carolina Upstate. But he struggled a little bit to shoot the ball in SEC play, and he's 3 of 15 from the field over his last 4 games. But he can really score.
Just so much experience on this team. Not all of it within the program, obviously, but Gainey's been around, Connect has been around, and then you got the 5th-year seniors in Vescovi and James. Ziegler, a very experienced player.
Well, the glue is really Ziegler, Vescovi, and James. Those are the program guys. And with Dalton Connect coming in, you know, there's no jealousy on this team. Like Santiago Vescovi is a 2-time All-SEC guard. And now he's more of a role player. You know, he's not their leading scorer. He's not taking most of the shots. And even though a couple guys now maybe riding in the back seat. They are content to do it, and they're supporting Dalton Knecht.
Yeah, Rick Barnes said they embraced him immediately. Griffin, a good look, and hits it.
Boy, once the lid comes off for Alabama, they can score points in a hurry. The question is, can the Tide get stops?
Gaining into the paint again and lays it in with the left hand.
That's just too easy, Dan. You can't give up middle like that. That was a straight line drive from the wing to the opposite side of the rim.
Well, we mentioned Alabama is first in the nation in points per game. They're first in the nation in offensive efficiency per KenPom. They're 100th in the nation in defensive efficiency, though. Sears the bucket. You're going to win a lot of games when you're the best offensive team in the nation, but it's hard to have a deep run unless the defense improves.
Yeah, that's got to improve for Alabama to do really well in the NCAA tournament, but they're fully capable of it. And the Tide have to stay down. Like Vescovi, Gainey, they're giving shot fakes and getting you off the ground. But take a look at Mark Sears here, who I think is making not only a great case for first team All-SEC, but also in the mix for player of the year. Like, he gets Meshack on his back. That's a Jalen Brunson type move. The strength that he shows, and Mark Sears shoots over 6 free throws a game. And coming into this game, he's made more threes on the season than Dalton Knecht. And you mentioned he's second in the league in scoring, just under 21 points a game. Dalton Knecht overall just under 21 points a game. But he's been more consistent with his numbers. Knecht will have like a 39-point game. Mark Sears had 35 in a game against Purdue, but he is so efficient and consistent this year relative to last. He's just made a huge jump. What a player.
Also averages better than 4 assists per game, better than 4 rebounds per game, and almost 2 steals per game. Sears with a very good defender on him in Meshack. And then Sears is called for the offensive foul.
That's almost like a pick play in football, the little flip dribble handoff, and then you just go right into the defender. But that's usually called an offensive foul, and I think that's a good call.
Well, 11.5 minutes into this game, if somebody said to you, who's dictating the style right now, or who's not happy with the style, this is more of a Tennessee kind of, and Tennessee can score, good offensive team, but this does not look like most Alabama basketball games have looked like this year. Well,
Tennessee's not turning the ball over, and they've picked up a couple of offensive rebounds. But I think that you got to see Alabama get a little grittier on the defensive end, because if they're made to play in the half court, it's advantage Tennessee.
Ziegler slip. Vescovi comes up with the loose ball.
And those are loose balls that Alabama has to come up with to win this game.
Pringle.
What a pass.
Cosby. Yes. The freshman from Richmond, Virginia, brings them within 6. 90% of his field goal attempts are threes. He made 5 of them Wednesday night at Ole Miss.
You don't see many big guys give up a dunk attempt for an open 3.
Vescovi step back 3, not close. Momentum seems to have swung in recent moments here inside Coleman Coliseum.
Well, Nick Pringle makes a great catch here, and then when he draws Vescovi in, just kicks it out to Davin Cosby for the wide open 3, and Alabama's starting to feel it. That's a Wimp Sanderson coat right there.
Kevin Dowlett, thank you very much. What does it mean? Well, within this conference, it means the winner's going to be alone on top. After tonight, the loser will be tied for second with South Carolina, which beat Florida today. Auburn beat Mississippi State today. Kentucky beat Arkansas today. Great league. All 6 of these teams obviously comfortably in the tournament, should get a good seed. Dalton Knecht, who sat for about 2.5 minutes, back into the game now for Tennessee. They're up 6, and he hasn't really gotten going. He's got 6 points, 3 for 5 in the game.
Well, right now, Alabama not only has to concentrate on Dalton Knecht, but they've got to shut down some of these other Volunteers, and they're giving up some easy buckets.
Pringle over the top and a chance for 3. Tennessee has gone super small. Adu's got 2 fouls. Awaka's got 2 fouls. Estrella's gone back to the bench. They don't have a guy on the floor bigger than 6'6", Josiah Jordan-James.
That was just a lack of communication on the part of Tennessee. Ran a little flex cut low, and then Mark Sears came up and set a back screen on the roll by Nick Pringle. And just no communication on the part of Tennessee to take that away, and they got the lob and the foul. Really good offense run after the timeout by Alabama and Nate Oates.
Pringle missed it. Knecht down with a rebound. So this is really a 5-out offense right now for the Volunteers. There's no post player in the game.
Aaron Estrada on Dalton Knecht. Now they're bringing the double.
They want to make him get rid of it. Almost forced a backcourt violation.
Well, you have to stay down on these fakes. Vescovy, as good as there is in the country with shot fakes.
Gainey's 3 rattles out. Pringle another rebound.
And anytime there's a rebound, Alabama wants to get the ball down court quickly, run, and get something quick up.
Estrada trying to get by Knecht. Got him in the air and draws the foul. Knecht picks up his first, and Alabama going back to the free throw line.
And that's an example of Alabama trying to run some action at Dalton Knecht to make him guard. If they pick up a foul, great. If not, they still want to make him guard, try to take his legs away for late in the second half. And Knecht is working to improve as a defender, but still not there yet. They want to make him guard.
Our final SEC Big 12 Super Tuesday doubleheader starts in Gainesville. A good one. The Gators and the Alabama Crimson Tide, and then K-State and Kansas. That is always quite the game. 9 o'clock Eastern, Tuesday night on ESPN and the app.
For that Alabama-Florida game, talk about good guards. Walter Clayton Jr., Zion Pullen going against this Alabama backcourt.
It's a 7-0 run for the Crimson Tide. Gainey with a great cut. Ziegler with an equally great find.
And that all started, Dan, with Zakai Ziegler catching the ball on the run. It is so difficult to stay in front of a player that has caught it on the run, just like Sears did there. What a pass.
Estrada left it short off the feed from Sears. Boy, how often does Alabama get you thinking it's going one way, and then it's a kickback for a wide open 3. Knecht to miss, and back comes Bama.
And Alabama really wants to get some penetration so they can spray it off the help.
Good defense there by James. It winds up going to Cosby, corner 3. I'll tell you, the freshman is not shy, is he? Gainey, wide open James. And now the Tide looking for the lead.
Alabama just keeps coming at you. Can't let him refuse that.
And Sears draws the foul.
And when I say refuse, you've got to make Mark Sears use that screen. If you let him refuse it and take it baseline, he's so good at getting to the rim and drawing fouls. He's only 6'1", but he just attacks the basket. And I think I mentioned this. Doesn't he remind you a lot of Jalen Brunson when he was at Villanova?
Yeah.
Doesn't have quite the back down ability. Brunson a little bit bigger, but there's a lot of similarities to the way those two play in college.
And here's where Alabama could win some games at the free throw line. They're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the nation. 79% on the season. Sears one of their best at 86.
And Estrada shoots 89.
Pringle a foul. Sears shaking his head. Not only did he missed the front end of a 1-and-1, and he is bothered by it right now. Number 2 on Pringle, 10th team foul. So 2 free throws now coming for Josiah Jordan James.
And James, a good free throw shooter, just under 80%.
We've got a great ESPN women's basketball triple header for you tomorrow. Number 1, South Carolina, looking to make history and finish undefeated. They take on Tennessee at noon. Number 17, Notre Dame against number 22, Louisville. And then a rivalry game after that between Duke and Carolina. And speaking of Duke and Carolina, we will be at Cameron Indoor next week. Saturday Prime game day, North Carolina at Duke. Each of them victorious today. Carolina over NC State, Duke over Virginia.
That's kind of a harsh hat there, wasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, Tennessee's a very nice place.
And another foul going against Pringle. His 3rd. So he has to come out, and Mohamed Wagi is going to check into the game, a 6'10 junior, a transfer from West Virginia.
And Wagi is basically an offensive rebounder, rim protector, but he doesn't play a ton of minutes. And he's got a challenge in guarding Josiah Jordan James.
Estrada on Connect, who's been held to 6 so far. Here he comes. And a foul called on Estrada to send Connect to the line. And of all the calls that haven't been popular tonight, that one is at the top of the list.
Well, Estrada did a great job of angling him to the baseline, but there's no question he got his arm.
Absolutely. Yeah. He did everything right until there. Yeah. And it's clearly a foul.
But he made it a difficult 2.
Yes.
And that's where you don't want to reach in and get the foul. Just make him take the really tough 2.
And again, Alabama wants to force Connect to put it on the deck, make him take a tough 2. Don't let him get in rhythm shooting open threes.
And they certainly haven't allowed him any rhythm. But it's really tough against this Tennessee defense for Alabama to establish rhythm. And Alabama needs to get these loose balls.
It turns into a 4-point trip for Tennessee after the Meshack 3.
I mean, there have been a number, Dan, of loose balls. One Mark Sears had right in front of the Alabama bench. That one right there that led to 3-point buckets for Tennessee. Just grabbing the ball is the difference between taking it the other way and having a chance and giving up an open 3 in a scramble situation.
Tennessee by 7. Guys, thank you very much. Great points made by you. Tennessee up 7 in this one. Alabama started cold. They have heated up. Dalton Connect, Mark Sears, each with 7. Justin gaining a big force. Let's listen in to an Alabama huddle with Nate Oates.
Hold down on offense. Come on, get in the flow. Push, get in the flow quicker. You got to create advantages. You got to get connected to the action quicker. All right? You're on Connect. Connect's not the one hurting us.
So one of the phrases he used there was get in the flow. And when they are good, their offense is flowing. There hasn't been a lot of flow to their offense so far tonight.
Well, you're not going to walk it up the court and then run something against Tennessee because they're so good at disrupting. You have to beat them down the floor and get something quickly. And that's when Alabama's at their best, is when they can get down the floor, get a quick shot. And there's Sears off the fade.
Yeah, for an Alabama game, it's not that they're, you know, the raw numbers are that off. It's been a low possession game for an Alabama game. Usually it's up and down and up and down.
And overall, Alabama's defense has been pretty good. They've made things difficult on Tennessee, but it's just they're a few loose balls away. I mean, you grab a couple of these loose balls. There's been 2 or 3 of them, and Tennessee's gotten a couple threes out of that.
Josiah Jordan-James just hit his second three. And after Alabama had gotten within 1, the Vols are now on a 9-0 run. Nate Oates is going to be hoarse by the end of the night in this one, trying to compete with the noise and get his message across to his players.
Got a switch now, so Mark Sears on connect.
Ziegler into the paint, somehow finds James. He's wide open.
That's just over help, and Alabama very fortunate. Now you want to make Ziegler finish those around the rim, not draw 2 defenders and have a wide open 3-point shooter.
Jaron Stevenson with a corner 3 won't go. Alabama 5 for 16 from 3 in this game.
Good offensive rebound by Wagi there. Got an extra possession.
And they pay it off with a Mark Sears 3.
Really important last 2.5 minutes here for Alabama playing at home. Can they get a couple of stops? And Rylan Griffin trying to top lock on Dalton Connect.
Boy, tough shot over Griffin. It's way short.
Oh, that was really good defense by Rylan Griffin, making everything difficult for Connect.
Estrada keeping the dribble alive. Off the glass, it's good, and it's down to 5.
He just would not be denied.
And an offensive foul on Dalton Connect, number 2 on him.
Rick Barnes not happy with that one, asking how he could get in front there. But watch Aaron Estrada here. Well, that was after the offensive rebound by Wagi. And then here's Estrada on the drive. That's the second drive on the same possession. He drove it right, then took it left. And I guess it was just a lowering of the shoulder to pick up that offensive foul in transition. So that was a huge stop for Alabama. Now you get a score here, and you don't let Tennessee stretch out what was a 10-point lead.
And you've also sent Dalton Connect to the bench for the rest of the half, presumably.
Really smart by Rick Barnes, I think, to put on this full court pressure just to slow the advance a little bit from Alabama, make them start in the half court instead of get momentum coming full court.
Tennessee continuing to play with this very small lineup because of the foul trouble for Adu and Awaka. Gainey has been huge off the bench tonight. Lost it here, though. Good defense by Diabate to knock it away. Stevenson, yes! And they are right back in it. The freshman Jaron Stevenson from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, knocks down Alabama's 7th made 3 of the night, and they're back within 2. Here's our next ESPN NBA Sunday Showcase doubleheader. It'll be Luke and the Mavs hosting Tyrese Maxey and the Sixers at 1 Eastern. Then Steph and the Warriors finish up their 4-game road trip against Jason Tatum and the Celtics. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 12:30 Eastern.
Well, we mentioned with 2:30 to go in the half how important these possessions were to Alabama. They've made a nice run. But can Tennessee now answer and try to stretch this out before halftime?
Wide open Ziegler. Can't hit the 3. Tennessee has had some good looks on recent trips, has not been able to convert. Now Alabama can tie or take the lead. And a Tennessee foul.
Yeah, Mark Sears setting a little screen, just got run over.
Number 2 on Josiah Jordan-James.
Josiah Jordan-James has given him an extra shot, but you do that, and now you're putting a 86-87% free throw shooter on the line for 2 shots in the double bonus.
Mark Sears, 2 shoot
2 years at Ohio, 2nd year here with Alabama. He is the only player in the country. There are only 5 players in the country averaging 20 points per game and shooting better than 50%. He's the only guard among them. And he's come back to his home state, a native of Muscle Shoals, Alabama. He's tied the game.
And the second most famous person from Muscle Shoals. You know who the first is, don't you?
You asked me this last year when we had them, and I can't remember. Who is
Reese Davis.
Oh! My apologies, Reese. A battle for the loose ball belongs to Tennessee. Rylan Griffin came that close to giving the Tide the lead. Ziegler finds Meshack. Gainey for 3.
They want to get 1 shot here. There's no reason to hurry.
Estrada the floater. Alabama leads. And it's a 12-0 run for Alabama. Ziegler.
Short.
Way short. Gainey gets it off, but it won't go. And the Crimson Tide end the half on a 12-0 run and go into the locker room with the lead.
How well did Alabama handle the last 2 minutes 30 seconds when we thought it was important? 12-0 is how well.
Yeoman's work. Let's go to Jess Sims with Nate Oates.
Coach, 12-0 run to end the first half. What's going through your mind right now?
Yeah, I mean, we survived some foul trouble. It helped that Connect was out. We're able to play Aaron and Mark with 2 fouls and go on a run. We got to make some tough plays. They're winning all the 50-50 and loose balls. We had to do a better job of that. I felt like we did a better job after the timeout, and then we were able to go on a run.
How do you keep the momentum going in the second half?
Yeah, we got to make the tough plays. Like, we got to get loose balls, rebounds, make the tough plays. That's what they build their program on. We got to do a better job of that stuff.
Thanks, Coach.
Exactly what Jay talked about during the first half. We got a good one. Alabama up 2 on Tennessee in this heavyweight battle here in Tuscaloosa. Time now for the Jeep Halftime Report. Kevin Connors and Dallin Cup.
Dan, every bit.
Back to ESPN Saturday primetime. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Dalton Knecht, one of the country's great offensive players, got off to a fast start, but then didn't make a field goal in the last 14:39 of the half. Mark Sears and Aaron Estrada heated up and got Alabama back into this game. 12 for Sears, 11 for Estrada, who also has 4 assists and didn't turn the ball over not even once in the first half. Here's what Alabama likes to do. If it's not a 3, it better be really close to the rim. And they pretty much executed the game plan in the first half. Started cold, finished strong, 12-0 run, and they've got the lead going to the second half in this ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Welcome back to Coleman Coliseum. Dan Shulman, Jay Billis. I don't know that it was stylistically what we expected, but we expected hard-fought, close, and we certainly have that.
Well, Alabama took a punch early. Tennessee, as expected, was very physical, and Alabama got down early. But the way the Tide finished the first half was really impressive on that 12-0 run. And Tennessee got in a little bit of foul trouble, but they did. I thought Alabama did a really good job on Dalton Knecht. They threw some doubles at him from time to time. Not a steady diet, but giving him different looks, getting the ball out of his hands, making other people beat him. Rylan Griffin with a top block, and then staying between him and the basket, forcing a really tough 2. Dalton Knecht was 3 of 7 in that first half. 0 of 3 from 3, just 7 points. And Jonas Aidoo only played 4.5 minutes in that first half, picked up 2 fouls. He's got to be a factor in this second half. When he plays well, Tennessee's in a much better position.
Jess had a chance to speak with Rick Barnes.
Yeah, Dan, I caught up with Rick Barnes as he was coming out of the locker room. He looked a little bit defeated, but he said, listen, we need to start making these threes. We're getting looks, but we're shooting air balls. So we're a little bit anxious, and we're looking forward to not being so anxious in this second half.
Underway here in the second half of our Sonic Blockbuster matchup. In this game, there have been 63 field goal attempts. 41 of them have been three-point attempts. Nearly a turnover. Ziegler inside. Finds Vescovi. He'll kick it. Gets it back. Shot fake. Baseline, no.
Those shot fakes get defenders off the floor. You know he's going to do it, and he gets you to bite on it anyway.
Sears gets all the way to the glass, and it's a 4-point lead.
Those drives in transition, and Sears always in complete body control. Never goes too fast. He just such a good job getting to the rim.
Connect gets open, misses the three.
Good box out by Grant Nelson on Adu.
Nelson sat for a while in the first half because of foul trouble as well. Vescovi comes up with a steal.
Vescovi should have gone. Sears has 2 fouls. He should have taken him to the rim.
Connect goes to the rim and draws the foul. And they got Grant Nelson. That'll be number 3 on him. And he's looking to the bench to see if he's coming out.
Well, you turn the ball over and put your defense in such a bad spot. Just a poor pass. Adu got a little deflection. I'm surprised that Vescovi didn't take Sears all the way to the rim, trying to hang another foul on him.
So Connect at the line. He is now 1 for 3 from the line tonight, 77% on the season.
To start the second half, Rick Barnes used Dalton Connect as a screener, and then he got a screen, and Rylan Griffin guarded it really well.
And Rylan Griffin knew when he woke up this morning that he had a big job in this game tonight, that he was going to spend a lot of time guarding Dalton Connect.
Well, they've been switching some, but Griffin, when he's been on him, has done a nice job.
Boy, Vescovi is savvy, isn't he? What a steal that was.
When you show the ball, he takes it.
Stop and go, Connect to Adu, and he has it taken away by Sears.
Just brought it down enough where the little guys could get to it.
Those darn little guys. Grant Nelson with a 3. And Alabama's lead grows to 6.
You just cannot relax in transition defense. You have to run to the three-point line and pick up your assignment, or Alabama's going to make you pay.
Ziegler behind Adu knocks down the 3. A big bucket for the Vols.
And that's something I don't think he would have done last year. You go underneath the screen, which Mark Sears did, and he just pulled up from behind that screening action. That was impressive by Zakai Ziegler. When Alabama shows that they're going to set a screen, they just run out of it. Another steal by Vescovi. You show him the ball, he takes it.
And he sees some room and knocks down the 3, and all of a sudden it's tied.
Boy, Estrada looked like he was a little despondent after that turnover. He just melted on that screen instead of fighting over it, and Vescovi took advantage of it.
Griffin right at Connect, and he lays it in.
Smart play by Griffin. When you've got Connect on you, attack him, make him guard you.
Vescovi baseline keeps the dribble alive. Connect is open, and that's his first 3 of the game. Tennessee back on top. Yeah, boy, Nate Oates is steamed.
Well, Stevenson can't help off there. You have to stay attached to Connect and above the three-point line. You get below the three-point line, all of a sudden you're closing out, and Connect is going to kill you.
Ziegler with a crossover, soft off the glass, and down to Alabama. Ooh. Nelson fouled by James, and that'll be number 3 on Josiah Jordan-James.
Now watch Stevenson here. He's far off. Now he's got to close out, and he tried to close out short with a hand up, but Dalton Knecht didn't even notice him. Like, if he gets a shot from the catch spot, he's going to make it. And you got to be attached to him, and you can't really help off.
And Stevenson sits. Pringle has come back into the game. Sam Walters as well.
Pringle picked up, remember, those 3 fouls in the first half.
Awaka in for James for Tennessee. Estrada with 3. And what a player he is. Well traveled. St. Peter's, Oregon. The last 2 years with Hofstra, had a triple-double this week against Ole Miss, and he is having a great night.
He's scoring better for Alabama than he did at Hofstra. But you help off a little bit, you just kind of stun it, and all of a sudden Zakai Ziegler, you know, he's trying to protect at the nail. What are you protecting? They're not going to take a shot in there. You know, they're looking to spray it. Great duck in.
Awaka, and Pringle got a piece of it. Sears. Estrada. Boy, that is 2 talented, savvy guards right there.
2 guys making plays on the floor off 2 feet. And how about that little fake by Estrada to get the defense to bite before he went up with that left hand? That's big time.
Vescovy with a nice pass inside and a foul going against Walters. Well, they love Nate Oates' offense down here in Alabama. We'll delve into the beautiful mind of Nate Oates when we come back.
I was told there'd be no maths.
In the film room with Alabama head coach Nate Oates, and Nate, you have a different way of playing. For the layman watching Alabama, how would you describe how you want to play offensively?
We're trying to be the most efficient team we can be, and so we're trying to get efficient shots. So it's spread out. You know, the most efficient shots are free throw, second most efficient shots and at the rim, and then the next most efficient shots at catch and shoot 3. So we want guys spaced to the 4-point line, stepping in for catch and shoot 3s.
You know, you got in practice the most exercised over a player that passed up an open 3. And if I remember right, you said, we're not passing up open 3s. You're taking that shot, because if you don't take it, in the next 10 seconds, we put ourselves in a position to turn the ball over.
It happens all the time. I show them on video, and I don't understand it. Like, I wish I had the green light some of these guys had in college. I do get almost more upset when they pass up an open one, because we've run the offense the way we wanted. It's open, catch and shoot 3, shoot the ball.
The numbers, they work.
Well, he was a math teacher, you know, back in the day in Michigan, and when he talks about efficiency, it's just on a points per attempt, points per possession kind of basis. A math teacher and a high school coach in Romulus, Michigan, then an assistant, and then eventually head coach at the University of Buffalo, and now in his 5th season here in Tuscaloosa. And if you like to get up and down the floor and shoot and run and score, why wouldn't you want to come play in a system like this?
Yeah, who wouldn't want to play in a green light system? But Nate Oates is still on an upward trajectory as a coach. And you know, how many coaches do you see in college basketball that 10 years ago, he was a high school coach at Romulus High School outside of Detroit. And he got his first job in college as an assistant to Bobby Hurley at Buffalo and got the job. Danny Hurley, the head coach at UConn, recommended Nate to his brother. And then when Bobby Hurley got the Arizona State job, he took over as head coach. And the rest is history. He is an outstanding coach here at Alabama, and he is just getting started of doing great things. I think Estrada's got to take on Knecht here.
He's thinking about it. Couldn't get the shot off. Walters just grazes the rim, and it's Tennessee ball. I asked Nate at shoot-around this morning, how much has the offense changed since you were at Buffalo? He said the concepts are the same, but I ran more set plays there, far fewer here. Generally, he just likes to let them play.
Well, what a rebound by Awaka.
Ziegler misses an open one.
Mark Sears was guarding inside, got switched off on a big guy, and just fought like crazy to make it tough.
And then a strong drive and finish for Sam Walters, the freshman from the Villages, Florida.
One of the many lefties on this Alabama roster. They lead the league in lefties.
They've got 4 of them. Tennessee has a couple, so 6 prominent players in this game are left-handed. And 1 prominent announcer.
I'm not lefty.
Connect, no. And Pringle down with it for Alabama.
Well, this is as gritty a defensive effort as Alabama has put up in a while. They are fighting on the defensive end.
Nelson way too strong. Tennessee in transition. Connect knocked away by Sears.
What a great play by Mark Sears. Stop and go move.
Walters fouled on a 3-point attempt by Connect.
Well, that is not a good foul by Dalton Connect. You want to put late pressure in a flyby, but you do not want to foul a jump shooter, especially a 3-point shooter. Trying to fly by, just caught his arm, and that wasn't a high five. He caught his wrist on the follow through and knocked it back. That's an obvious call for the official.
Pleading his case with Pat Adams as one of the lefties on this team. Walters steps to the line. He's been in double figures 6 times this year. Twice in SEC play. Scored 14 points in 18.5 minutes against Florida. And he's not shy. If he's got any time and space, it's going up.
And he can drive a closeout as well. Yeah, I thought he had a really good game against Texas A&M. He put up 11 points in that game, but he's just a big guy that can help stretch the floor.
Great doubleheader Tuesday night. You'll see the Tide again. They'll be in Gainesville to take on the Gators at 7 Eastern and then 9 Eastern to K-State and KU. You can see them both on ESPN and the app.
Well, Alabama better be ready to rebound in that game against Florida. Florida's one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country.
And the Gators probably will come in a bad mood after letting a lead slip away against South Carolina. The lead is 7, and listen to the noise.
Really, Dan, right now for Alabama, this is about continuing to play as hard and together as you can on the defensive end.
Adu steps out. Now James. Connect not in the game after picking up his 3rd foul. And Nelson called for the blockout.
Wow.
And that's number 4 on Grant Nelson.
Well, that's a tough one.
Maybe the right arm, I guess, early. Yeah.
A lot of places they just call that rebounding, but.
So Nelson to the bench. Pringle returns. Gainey gets free for a 3. And the shots are not falling at all right now for Tennessee.
A lot of these shots haven't really been in rhythm. They've had some open ones, especially in the first half, but you got to give Alabama some credit. This is as well as they've played defensively in a long time.
Gainey, no. Diabate the rebound, and he's fouled.
A really good job by Sam Walters to put pressure on that layup attempt by Jordan Gainey. Didn't make it easy, just made him try to finish over the top, and he couldn't do it. A lot of times you'll see, Dan, a big guy pick up a foul there because he's trying to do too much. Walters just gave him some resistance with a vertical contest and made him finish it.
There's been an 18-point swing in this game. Tennessee led by as many as 11 in the first half.
Diabate. There's the drive of the closeout.
Off balance, Walters, no. Offensive rebound. Diabate to Sears.
These two veterans, Sears going up against Vescovi, and now Ziegler switches out. He took a bump there.
Diabate misses
What a
the three,
rebound.
and Pringle, just couldn't have it, couldn't corral it. Great effort.
I'm surprised there wasn't a call on that bump on Mark Sears. He should have gotten that call.
James can't get past Sears.
Good defense by Sears to take away that drive.
And Tennessee struggling in this possession to get a good look, to get any look. And a foul on the putback attempt by Jonas Aidoo to send us to a timeout.
Alabama did everything there but grab the defensive board. It was right there. They couldn't grab it.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Sonic Quarter Pound Double Cheeseburger. Just $1.99 for a limited time only at Sonic. Alabama coach Nate Oates in this last huddle.
Every 4 minutes, you got 3 more 4-minute warnings. You gotta put the ball. You gotta go with the ball. Hey, can we
Break it into segments, 4-minute segments. Got to keep winning them, says Nate Oates. Well, how about these two programs, both been around a long, long time, obviously, and have had great players that have had their fair share of success, but neither of these programs has ever been to a Final Four. And there's no question, it's well within the realm of possibility, Jay, that could change this year.
Well, they're both poised for it. I thought Alabama had a very good opportunity. Last year, Brandon Miller did not play well in the NCAA tournament. They got clipped. I thought they had a really good chance when Herb Jones was here, and they got beat by UCLA. And the free throw line let Alabama down. UCLA ultimately went on to the national championship game and lost there. Or excuse me, the Final Four, lost to Gonzaga.
Remember Tennessee just a few years ago, Grant Williams, Admiral Schofield.
Right.
I mean, they had some, Rick Barnes has had some great teams as well, but both of these programs are going to get great seeds, whether it's a 2 and a 3 or a 2 and a 4. I mean, listen, Tennessee, if they win this game and win out, then they could be a 1 seed heading into the NCAA tournament. I don't think it would shock anybody if one of these teams made it to the Final Four.
Not at all. Got a switch now, James on Estrada.
Pringle back to Estrada, who's having a terrific night. Sears. And great hustle getting in there by Jaron Stevenson.
Nobody picked him up, just crashing in from the right wing. And Alabama does a really good job of getting into the paint. And that was a really good contest. Might have gotten a little bit of contact on that shot with Mark Sears, but to your point, Stevenson, nobody laid a body on him. And it's so difficult to do when there's so much movement and you're getting into the paint, the defense collapses, you got to recover.
Stevenson hasn't been a big factor in this game, but he's a big talent. Originally in next year's class was considering Alabama and North Carolina. He's from Chapel Hill. Then he reclassified and came here to Tuscaloosa, and he looks like he is going to be a terrific player going forward.
He's very skilled and he can really shoot it.
Ziegler, no. Pringle, another rebound.
Well, you like that strategy from Alabama. Make Ziegler finish around the rim.
Estrada through the fingertips of Pringle, and back comes Tennessee.
The contest by Aidoo really important there.
Vescovi, and a great seal by Aidoo to help Vescovi get the layup.
Well, right now, Tennessee, with about 10.5 minutes to go in regulation, they need to lock down defensively and get some stops. Look at the pressure by Ziegler on Sears.
One of the better defenders in the country. I don't know how Sears knew Pringle was there, but he did. Give him another assist.
That was Jalen Brunson-esque. Well, he plays off 2 feet. You don't see him leave the floor trying to make plays.
6th assist of the night for Sears. Adu got it back, missed again, and it's Alabama ball.
A really good duck in by Jonas Adu, but he has struggled in this game. Foul trouble in the first half, can't establish any rhythm. And look at that little hesitation move and then the wraparound pass right around Jonas Adu. It's a big time play by Mark Sears. And Jonas Adu, he transferred in from Marquette, but this year in SEC play, he hasn't been good. I think he's been excellent, and he's struggled in this one.
1 of 4 from the field, 5 points for a guy averaging 12 on the season and more than that in conference play. Dalton Knecht returns. Knecht 4 for 11 points in the game.
See if Ryland Griffin just takes on Dalton Knecht here. They had to run some action at him, make him guard,
and maybe try to get him to pick up his 4th foul.
Exactly. You know, when you go at Knecht, it's not just the picking up of the 4th foul. He may just back off not to pick up the 4th, and that's another reason to go right at him. You know, when you're playing against a great scorer, one of the ways you can slow him down a little bit is to really make him work on the defensive end. And there's a foul by Ziegler. Just got the shoulders. Mark Sears got his shoulders past him, so he wasn't in legal guarding position in that contact. Therefore, it was a foul. It's tough to inbound the ball with Jonas Adu on you.
I was going to say, he's 60 feet away from us. I can't see anything over there. I can't see Reese.
And we're all the poorer for it.
Tough pull-up. That is not the kind of shot Nate Oates wants to see all that often in his offense.
Well, you don't want to see a challenge 2 like that from 15 feet. What a terrible pass.
Good anticipation by Pringle, who's having a productive night, making a lot of plays for Alabama.
I don't see those kind of mistakes very often. Good fake.
Griffin to Estrada. Pringle keeps it alive. Alabama gets it back. Stevenson fouled by Adu. Number 3 on Jonas Adu.
And that's an example of Alabama attacking the paint and then spraying it out to the 3-point line. You got to recover. They've either got an open 3, and Rick Barnes just incensed about that pass by Jemai Meshack that got taken. But, you know, spraying it out after, and then an offensive rebound, just huge plays for Alabama to try to stretch out this lead.
Stevenson to shoot 2.
We're taking you west after this one. It'll be the premier matchup in the West Coast Conference. It'll be Gonzaga, St. Mary's. Anton Watson, been there a long time. Right now, Joey Brackets has Gonzaga as one of the last 4 byes, so a big one for the Zags. They could do themselves a lot of good with a win tonight. Wake Forest did not do itself much good. They dropped from last 4 byes to last 4 in, lost at Virginia Tech earlier today.
And speaking of that Gonzaga St. Mary's game, I thought Jay Williams made a courageous prediction this morning that St. Mary's would win the West Coast Conference regular season in that game tonight. They've already won it.
Clinched it. Zakai Ziegler, a high arcing 3, and Tennessee is back within 3.
Boy, Zakai Ziegler looks all the way back from that knee injury. Remember, we saw him in Maui, still a little tentative, not quite 100%. He's 100% now. That was a foul by Meshack.
Third on Meshack.
Trying to blow up this dribble handoff, just sticks his arm in. He's behind Mark Sears. That's an obvious foul.
And it's the 7th team foul.
And that's a long time to go to be in the bonus. Is that going to take away some of the aggressiveness from Tennessee so they don't put Alabama on the free throw line on every common foul? Alabama's only got 4 team fouls.
Wednesday on the SEC Network, it'll be Vandy squaring off against Kentucky at 9 Eastern.
Well, it's hard to watch Kentucky today. What a struggle to score, wasn't it?
I mean, they're routinely hitting triple digits.
They scored 117 against Alabama. And Arkansas did a much better defensive job holding them to 111.
Think the SEC tournament in Nashville is going to be any fun?
Yes.
Mashack, nice bounce pass into Adu.
And that's just Alabama giving up the paint. And for the most part, Alabama's won the battle of the paint in this ball game. So that was just too easy.
Loose ball tipped, stolen by Ziegler. It's still live, and Tennessee's got it.
What a play by Zakai Ziegler.
And Connect fouled. 7:37 to go, and Tennessee, Jay, they've gotten back into it. It's just a one-possession game.
You know, they're getting deflections, winning the paint there and dishing it off. And how about that step back move by Zakai Ziegler to knock down the three? Big time play by the little guy.
ESPN News, Dan.
Kevin, thank you very much. 40,000 points. Just a mind-boggling number for a guy who at 39 years of age is still playing some great basketball.
There has never been a 39-year-old basketball player that has played at the level of LeBron James.
No.
It's absolutely amazing.
Connect gets free. Misses the corner jumper. Boy, a decent look off the inbounds.
But overall, Alabama's done a great job on Dalton Connect.
They made him work for it. Very few easy looks. Sears trying to drive by Mashack. Can't do it. Picked up his dribble. Nelson and Sears collide. Shot clock's at 4. Cosby the force. And it's Tennessee ball.
Cosby probably had a little bit more time there.
Nelson on Connect at the moment.
A good pass.
Into Adu and a foul by Sears. And that speaks to what Rick Barnes was talking about. He said if Connect doesn't have something, if they double him, try to get him to get rid of the ball, he'll find the open guy. He'll find the good matchup, and he found Adu guarded by Sears.
Well, Adu early on was being guarded by Estrada. Sears came over from the weak side and had to foul. But it was just really good recognition. You know, Estrada got caught on the baseline side, and he just got sealed off by the much bigger Jonas Adu. But Adu's got to knock these free throws down. But when you get in early foul trouble, for some reason, especially like when you're a big guy, it's tough to reestablish rhythm. He only played 4 minutes in that first half.
1 of 2, and it's a 2-point game.
Right now, Tennessee has made this into a half-court game, and they're really physical on every catch.
And it's going against Alabama.
Nelson.
And if it's Nelson, he's done.
It is. They caught him on that screen. He just wasn't set before the ball handler was taken off.
Boy, the guys had a really, really good year for the Crimson Tide. Just hardly ever able to be a factor in this game tonight.
And that takes away Nelson, who can, their top rebounder, who can space the floor. He challenged it at the rim. He can block some shots. And that's an awfully long time to have to go without him. And one of the things Alabama needs to do this last 6:43 of regulation is they got to get out and run. I mean, it's been bogged down the last several minutes where it's been mostly half-court basketball, and in that type of game, that's advantage Tennessee.
Fast break points, there they are right there, 8 apiece. Estrada, good job again defending Connect. Ziegler misses the 3, but a long rebound to James.
That's a tough matchup for Alabama with Estrada on connect. He's given up a lot of size.
Ziegler the drive, the kick, Mashack the three, got it, and Tennessee leads.
That's his second three of the game. You don't expect that.
And now a turnover.
He read that all the way.
And a chance for three for Jonas Aidoo.
Dan, that was a next level play by Jahmai Mashack. He was running down just right of the center court line, read that all the way, and just ran like a defensive back to the other side of the floor and took that away and saved it. What a big time play by Jahmai Mashack. Went to high school at Etiwanda in Fontana, California, where Darren Collison went to school before he went to UCLA, and he is an outstanding defender. That was a big time read.
And a terrific young man. You and I had a chance to visit with him earlier today. Aidoo can't hit it, so the lead is still 3.
And Mashack almost came up with that offensive rebound from the third slot.
Stevenson around and out. And it's Alabama ball.
Tennessee's physicality just takes it out of you. And they have really been able to slow down Alabama's attack, and in the last several minutes they've kept the Crimson Tide out of the lane.
Alabama, Jay, has missed 11 of its last 12 field goal attempts. Pringle touch pass to Griffin. Plenty of time. Estrada. James the rebound. Alabama 9 for 32 from three-point range.
Now Rylan Griffin back on connect.
Who gives it up to Aidoo. Now Mashack. Back to Ziegler. Puts it up. Alabama ball. As we go inside the final 5 minutes. Griffin a little space. Pringle will shoot a pair.
Really smart by Rylan Griffin. He had Dalton connect on him, put him in a little wing ball screen. He got picked off, and then he just attacked the middle of the paint. 2 on the ball, kicked it back. The reach in by Connect to pick up that foul. That was a big play and a smart play by Rylan Griffin.
So as you see, number 4 on Dalton Connect.
And that means you keep going at Dalton Connect. Try to foul him out or try to get him to back off.
Vescovi's about to check in. We'll see if it's for Connect.
Now watch the way Nick Pringle shoots this free throw. He doesn't use his left hand as a guide hand. So he'll sort of cup the ball and then turn it over and shoot it basically one-handed without the left hand really touching it.
And it's been a struggle for him. He's a 50% free throw shooter on the season. It is as unusual as anybody in college basketball. Hey. 1-point game. Mashack, a little push off and lays it in.
He just dropped his shoulder right into the chest of Estrada and knocked him backwards.
Estrada for 3. Pringle underneath. Another offensive rebound, and he's going back to the line. He has given them some excellent minutes here tonight.
He's really worked. Just got that inside position on Aidoo, just fought him, and then Vescovi reaches in to keep him from getting the easy stick back, and Nate Oates loving the effort from Nick Pringle. You know what Nick Pringle's first job was?
I don't.
He was a bagger at Bilo. He just bagged a big offensive rebound there.
I mean, this is a guy, and I know you know this, and Alabama fans know this, was suspended by Nate Oates, not once but twice this year. And as Nate Oates has said, it's not for anything bad off the court or anything. It was just about his conduct, his attitude, his listening in practices and in games. Had a 1-game suspension, a few weeks later a 2-game suspension. Apparently everything has been great since he has come back, and you can see how important he is, especially with Nelson having fouled out of the game.
Now, where does Tennessee go for scoring with Knecht out of the game?
Ziegler will try a 3. Kept alive by James and tipped out to Ziegler. Give James and Vescovi credit for helping to secure that ball.
Just kept it alive.
Ziegler the spin.
What a pass.
Vescovi the kick. Ziegler the 3. Boy, that is pretty stuff.
And a lot of it made from that shot fake by Santiago Vescovi that opened up the lane. Then he could spray it back out to Ziegler.
Sears takes a bump and will shoot a couple.
With Dalton Knecht out of the game with those 4 fouls, it's been Tennessee attacking the paint. And then once they attack the paint, they can spray it out. Spraying it out to Vescovi, the shot fake, the paint open again, and then gets it back where it first started with Zakai Ziegler for the big 3. Tennessee up 5.
Kevin Connors in studio letting you know Gonzaga St. Mary's will tip over on ESPN News. The Zags squarely on the bubble. The Gales have won a Division I leading 16 in a row. They're underway in Moraga. After our great finish in T-Town, you'll see it here on ESPN. Dan?
Kevin, thank you. So more action still to come. But again, here's part of the significance of this one. These two programs are tied for the top spot in the ultra-competitive SEC. Whoever wins will be alone in first, a game ahead of the pack. Let's listen in to Nate Oates' huddle.
Dan, I listened into Nate Oates' huddle, and let me tell you, he was fired up. He said, listen, guys, we have 3 minutes to win a championship. And how do we win? We win it with tough defensive play and owning the boards.
Well, tough is a good word to use in this game. This game has had a whole lot of tough.
You know, Rick Barnes earlier today in practice was saying that, you know, he's got 2 program guys in Santiago Vescovi and Josiah Jordan-James. In that last huddle for Tennessee, Santiago Vescovi was diagramming a play for the team.
Yeah.
He is coaching the team.
It's like having extra coaches. At practice, those guys will walk around and say, okay, next group in right now. They know what the coaches are going to do before the coaches do it.
Big defensive possession for Alabama here. They have to stay down on fakes.
Ziegler got a screen, missed a 3. And Griffin corrals it for the Crimson Tide. Sears. Pringle couldn't finish it, but he's fouled.
What an effort by Nick Pringle. I mean, Mark Sears took Zakai Ziegler all the way to the basket, just couldn't finish it. And Nick Pringle did not give up on the play. Boy, that's a big-time rebound over the top of Tobe Awaka.
Pringle has 11 points and 7 rebounds in this game. 4 for 4 from the field, so hasn't missed a shot from the field. 3 for 5 from the line, and just energetic, determined minutes from Nick Pringle tonight.
And he has fought in a really physical game. And I'll tell you, for Tennessee, if the Vols can pull this one out on the road, I mean, Jemai Meshack has been a huge factor in this second half and in this game. On the glass, making big shots, assists, getting loose balls. That steal he made.
And trying to win a game against a very good team on the road when your star has had a quiet night by his standards. And give Alabama some credit for that. They have defended him well. They have executed their game plan against him well. And he's just 4 for 12 for 11 points. Made them both, and it's a 1-point game. One-on-one with Diabate. Elevates and hits.
You're just not going to stop that. Little cross screen to get him open just off the block, and you give him one-on-one in the post, he's going to make it.
Griffin with a 3 in transition. Diabate hard to the deck. Appears to be okay. The foul on Josiah Jordan-James.
Boy, Dan, that might have been the first time in this game that there's been single coverage on Dalton Knecht.
Yep.
And he can just back you down and shoot right over the top. Just has a beautiful stroke. But he's been getting 2 defenders sent at him. He hasn't seen a lot of daylight. That was the first time.
You're right. If you watch a lot of Tennessee games, as you and I both have, you see that kind of thing a lot. But we just haven't seen it tonight.
And give Alabama credit. I mean, you mentioned it. Their game plan is excellent, and they've executed it very well.
Diabate at the line. Well, he's had a little bit of foul trouble. He's missed a few minutes here and there. And look at how Tennessee has struggled without Dalton Knecht. Even if he's not having a vintage night, he's drawing attention. Other people are probably getting better looks with him on the floor.
Yeah, and so the analytics say keep him on the floor.
1 of 2 for Diabate.
That's about what he shoots, just under 50%. Same play to try to get Knecht the ball. Let's see if they send another defender. There it is.
They swing it to James, who knocks down the 3.
Boy, great ball movement out of the double. Around the horn to the opposite corner.
Griffin step back, not there, tipped out, and out of bounds to the Vols.
Another opportunity where Alabama had to grab the ball, and Sears tried to get it with just one hand. Now watch the double and the ball movement. All of a sudden you got Alabama in rotation, and then Diabate's got to choose. I mean, which guy do you go after? He's playing 2-on-1 on the backside, and that's advantage Tennessee, and they took advantage of it. Same play again. When it's working, keep going to it.
Left it short, and it's Alabama ball. Estrada still going. Finds Sears. He gets inside and lays it in. Boy, is he crafty.
Just those hesitation moves, and he's such a good finisher around the rim.
And here comes Knecht again. The drive and the kick. Ziegler a deep 3. Pringle has it. And it's a 1-possession game with 40 seconds to go. Sears.
Short.
Knecht the rebound. 5 seconds separating the game clock and the shot clock, and there's the foul to send Ziegler to the line.
And Ziegler, a 71% free throw shooter on the season, but in late game situations, he's focused and money.
And now Rick Barnes just took Knecht out of the game, anticipating Tennessee going on defense. Vescovi has come in as Ziegler gets ready to take a couple of free throws. His first trip to the line tonight. This is one tough customer at the free throw line.
He's one of those guys where he shoots a certain percentage, to 71% on the season, but I'll bet you in the last 2 minutes he's much higher than that.
Buries them both, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point game. And it'll be Alabama ball. Stevenson to inbound, but just 29 seconds remain.
Alabama still wants to attack the paint. If you can get help and spray it and take the three, that's fine.
Estrada finds Sears. He gets the three off. Adu the rebound, and he's fouled. And Tennessee can sense it right now.
The problem, Dan, when you go after that three is you miss it and don't get the rebound. It's basically game over. If you can attack the basket and get a quick two, you can extend the game.
So Adu to the line. This is double bonus, so he's got two. And a look at tonight's Sonic Blockbuster, a peek at the schedules for the top three teams of the remaining regular season schedule. Tennessee's got to go to South Carolina and then host Kentucky. Alabama going to Florida. Then they'll host Arkansas. And you saw a South Carolina schedule as well. But Tennessee, if they can hang on here, and they're in great shape, will have a leg up on the other two.
Good defense by Meshack.
Sears lays it in, and Nate Oates will use a timeout. With 7.5 seconds to go, Tennessee still up by 5.
With a 30-second timeout, it's the first timeout call in the second half.
Well, there have been games that Tennessee has won this year because Dalton Knecht has just gone off. This has not been one of those games. He's had to work very hard for his 13 points tonight. But Zakai Ziegler, Jemai Meshack, Santiago Vescovi, et cetera, have all done a variety of different things to help Tennessee get to the spot they're in right now.
Well, it shows they're a true team, and one person that's not bothered by having another 30-plus point game is Dalton Knecht. I mean, he's about winning. But I go back to the plays. I mean, Santiago Vescovi made some great defensive plays from steals early on, but Jemai Meshack, the lift that he gave this team, knocking down a couple threes, his defensive effort, he was all over the glass, and that free safety type steal that he made that led to a three-point play for Tennessee. I mean, this is a big-time play by Jemai Meshack. Not only denying Alabama in transition, but leading to a three-point play for Tennessee. And I think when Alabama looks back at this tape, one, I think Nate Oates will be telling his team, hey, when you really want to defend, you can do it. But number two is there were so many loose balls that Alabama had within their grasp and didn't get that led to open threes for Tennessee, or opportunities for Tennessee, and taking opportunities away from Alabama. You hate to say, hey, it's about when it's long or loose, but when it's long or loose, you better get it. And Alabama had a chance to get it, but Tennessee did. This has been a gritty, tough win for the Volunteers on the road when they didn't play their best offensively.
And a win that I think certainly would keep them under consideration for a 1 seed. A lot of that depends on what they do next week, what North Carolina does, what Arizona does.
Arizona's the linchpin. I mean, they're the one team that could fall out and Tennessee could replace. I think the other three are solid.
And that'll do it. Tonight's player of the game brought to you by Voya. Zakai Ziegler had 18 points and 4 assists in this game. as the junior from Long Island helps lead his team to an 81-74, a gritty, hard-fought win over a very talented Alabama team here in Tuscaloosa tonight. Tennessee now in the lead in the SEC, a game ahead of Alabama and South Carolina. For Jay and Jess, I'm Dan. Thanks so much. Let's send you west. Here's Flem.